Okay. Well, let me just communicate the offer and we can do the paperwork at your convenience. Back and do it.
Yes. The judge will also lack of fact will not be held against that.
Oh, of course.
Oh, dude, don't hurt.
Oh my goodness.
Why are you saying that? Yeah, you know, Judge, sometimes I walk the halls as a prosecutor, and you see a big group of defense attorneys, maybe 4 or 5 of them. You know, so sometimes I'm walking and they threaten me. Give me your lunch money. It's not me.
Here you go. I can give you the number. You have it?
I don't have it, so please give it to me.
Listen, it's actually in your file. Here. Really in there. Sorry about that.
Is it Pratt with 2 T's?
Not-
I had a classmate.
I didn't put this on the table.
I got you. Should have. Go.
It was.
Do you happen to have, do you have a cousin that lives in Pennsylvania? Okay. No Pratts up in Pennsylvania?
It's my husband who's on.
Fair enough.
Hernandez.
Fair. Are you from San Antonio? Where are you from? Heck yeah. A little bit later.
This is it.
Court is calling 2024 CR 0120086 State versus Juan Carlos Ramos. Could I have the parties announced?
State.
And are you Mr. Ramos? Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client? Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Ramos, did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment? State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ramos, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? You're charged with collision involving injury. That's a hybrid case in the penal code. So the range of punishment for that is not more than 5 years in the prison or not more than 1 year in the county jail and a fine not to exceed $5,000. If you have a plea with the state, court does not have to accept your plea. If for any reason the court does not accept your plea or gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea you were giving up those rights? Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Did you understand that the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could sentence you up to the maximum range of punishment? Did you understand? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses? Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him? Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense? Mr. Ramos, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promise you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, the state recommends deferred adjudication. They're taking in consideration 2024 CC 736447, and there's to be restitution, if any, payable to the complainant. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense, is that the plea? State, is that the plea?
Yes.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions? Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 6 years. Did you understand that that's the state's recommendation and the court does not have to follow that recommendation? Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Sorry? State, any evidence? All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence state's exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Judge. These considered aggressive driving force, prior to this. And in addition to that, Your Honor, I did provide a letter from Allstate Insurance, for Mr. Juan Ramos, and it stated that, the claims privilege to the development of lots of drinks, sustain in this.
Okay.
In addition to that, Mr. Ramos, very young, this is the first time he's ever been arrested in his life. That, a severe impact on him. Getting into this situation, he understands the consequences and what could happen as far as, possibly hurting someone even more. Possibly killing them. I know I'm talking about he's responsible. He wants to put this behind him, and he's taking the necessary steps to be successful, citizen. And I know he has some goals in mind, in, attacking this probation, and being successful, and also long-term goal that he has for himself.
All right, anything you wish to say? All right, I can't hear you. You need to speak.
Sorry. Yeah. I wanted to go to the military.
Mhm.
I can't think of this.
Oh, sure you can. Yeah, get in touch with the military branch, have them zoom in. And if you sign the paperwork and you're going to the military, and if it is true that Mr. Lohman has been paid all of the restitution, if there's no objection, I will terminate your probation and allow you to go to the military. All right, so here's my question. What have you been doing in your spare time? Doing what? Doing what? Okay,
My license to do it. For my permit, so I'm trying to get back into this.
okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. 4 years deferred adjudication, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, restitution if any to Stephen Lohman, proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors, field visits 1 time per month for 3 months. If you were drug tested today, what would the results be? All right, why not? Why are you smoking?
Just honestly.
Hmm?
Shouldn't be.
Yeah, because the military doesn't want that.
Yeah.
So it'll be a TAP evaluation out of custody. And you're going to do 20 sober meetings in 20 days. How far did you go to school?
Gregory.
And what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life? You say you're going to the military.
Yes, but they want to take my diploma. I did it almost. Medical license for different years.
Okay. All right, so these are the full conditions. 4 years deferred adjudication, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, restitution, if any, to Stephen, Steven Lohman, Loman, proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home health care with minors, field visits one time per month for 3 months, TAP evaluation out of custody, 20 sober meetings in 20 days, 120 hours of community service restitution. If he completes his GED or obtains some higher level education or trade school or joins the military, the community service hours we deem satisfied. The aggressive driving course, and he'll provide you his certificate showing that he's completed that. Probation, is there anything else?
Oh, Your Honor.
Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court to appeal. And also, as a part of your agreement, the court will be taking into consideration 2024 CC 736447. Counsel, some misdemeanor courts, I don't know which ones anymore because they're different ones. They don't want you to sign their dismissals. So legally, could I sign it? Yes, but I don't like to unnecessarily throw weight around. So,
I don't think it'll be an issue.
all right, thank you. All right, probation, he said that he's gonna be positive for marijuana. So if you'll test for levels. All right, if you ever need anything, just let your probation officer know. If you feel they're not addressing it, you can always come back to me and address it with me, understand?
Yes.
And if you want to go in the military, go over there, let them know that there will be no objections from the state, and I'm sure your defense counsel won't object, that I will terminate you early once you've officially signed up with them. That's been done before in this court, okay? All right, thank you. You're welcome. And your client is here.
I'll do it.
Yes, okay.
I don't know if the paperwork can get done.
We're trying around to get the paperwork on this case. I was gonna send it, we sent out next Thursday for a fee.
All right, and what type of case is this?
This is Christopher Close.
Well, I tell you what, counsel, if possible, when we take a break, or if you're able to do it over a break, but it'd have to be in the afternoon.
I'll try.
All right, so we'll see if he can. If he can, he can.
Okay.
Okay. All right, and you, sir, what's your name? On the back row?
Thomas Senses.
All right, so how old are you? All right, when you are asked to come over to the court, you come to the court. Do you understand? Now you're 21, so maybe you don't understand things. So let me tell you the consequences of certain things, right? If I order you to be here for court, you need to be here. And guess what? When you say you're not coming, all I do is send an order to the deputies to bring you over. And if there is a disagreement between you and the deputies about appearing in court, who do you think is going to win that argument? Yeah, so you had better start making better choices because you're in felony court. Sometimes people feel like 21-year-olds are not fully aware of consequences, but you have to be quick in being fully aware of consequences because you're in felony court. Do you understand? All right. All right, so do you all have your witness?
Yes, I believe he's back. You want him on the stand, you want?
Yes.
Also, Your Honor, we have an intern from our office here. She wants to, maybe she could sit on the bench, if you observe.
Yes. Hi, what's your name?
Allison Greenman.
Oh, welcome. You can, of course, come down anytime and join us. And so, is there a disagreement on whether or not this person is the actual Outcry?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, then this should be short. We'll bring them in and take testimony. Hello, if you'll take a seat here, please. And we are back on the record.
I need to try and find something. We'll get through.
Okay, just have a seat. Okay.
Oh, sure.
Oh, there. Lorraine's client is gonna be a plea, so we'll need to hold him for the afternoon. Mhm. Okay. All right, so all right.
Can I get your name?
Eric Matta
You're on favors.
with the K.
You put that microphone on, the little bitty one. Yeah.
Coming right now, you're on your phone.
All right, thank you.
We did great.
He's on the stand.
All right, we're on the record. And this is the outcry hearing and defense. It's the court's understanding that you all agree that this witness that is on the stand, and what is your name?
Eric Matta.
Eric Matta is the actual outcry witness?
Yes, sir.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Eric Matta.
All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Eric, with respect to when your forensic interview took place, do you happen to know when that was?
It was in 2023. I don't have an exact date. I'm
No
sorry.
worries. But you were above the age of 18,
I was, yes.
and she was below the age of 18.
Yes, she was.
And of course, just for clarity's sake, where did the forensic interview take place?
It occurred in Child Safe in San Antonio.
Is that your place of employment?
Yes,
Are you a forensic interviewer?
I am.
How long have you been one for?
I've been forensic interviewing since 2000 and the end of 2017.
And do you know why we're here today?
Yeah, for a criminal trial against the defendant, Mr. Rodriguez.
And did you have a forensic interview with Emily Rodriguez?
Yes,
And in preparation for today, did you have a chance to review that forensic interview?
I did.
And we had briefly spoken just about logistics in getting here yesterday, correct?
Correct.
Now, with respect to your forensic interview with Emily, kind of how did that start?
So anytime a forensic interview is conducted, it's through the request of the investigative party. I don't recall which specific investigative party it was. I know it was either CPS or Bexar County investigator. One of them requested the forensic interview, and we moved forward with it as me as a forensic interviewer.
So when you say you move forward with it, you're talking about moving forward with the actual conducting of the forensic interview.
Right, scheduling and having the family come in and doing the interview and providing services.
So when you're in the room with Emily, how did things start?
In the interview room?
Mhm.
So anytime we begin a forensic interview, we don't really talk about why they're there right away. We'll spend a few minutes just building rapport and getting to know each other a little bit, just to make sure that she's comfortable in the room with me. Once we did a few minutes of that, we went over something that we refer to as an event narrative practice. And the event narrative practice is just a way for the interviewer to gauge the interviewees' developmental level and just to make sure that they're able to give a sequence of events from beginning to end.
And did you kind of take those normal steps and processes with Emily?
Yes.
And after that, were you able to get into kind of the incidents or acts that occurred?
So after the event narrative practice, we do what we refer to as some truth. I'm sorry, we go over some rules in the room. After we went over the rules in the room, we went over what it means to tell the truth, what it means to tell a lie. And then she promised to only talk about the truth, and then we talked about why she was there.
So she affirmed the nature of understanding what's a truth and what's a lie.
That's right.
And that's common practice.
Yes.
So after that, what happened next?
We went into the substantive portion of the interview, which is where we discussed the alleged abuse.
And with respect to the things she was able to articulate, what was Emily able to tell you? Just what was the first thing you remember her letting you know?
We talked about 3 separate incidents of in her words, her being molested by her father. We talked about the first incident where he molested her. We talked about the last incident where he molested her. And then we talked about the most memorable incident where she was molested by him.
And with respect to the first, what was she able to communicate to you?
With the first incident, she told me it happened when she was 6 years old. It happened in I guess every incident happened in the defendant's bedroom. She said that she woke up to him touching her breasts, and then she clarified that it wasn't really her breasts because she was kind of too young at that time. She was only 6 years old. So she clarified he was more touching her nipples. After he touched her nipples, she talked about how he dropped her pants and her underwear, and he was putting first his penis, kind of in her words, in her crack, and then eventually, after his penis touching her crack, he penetrated her anus. She talked about how she was really scared and she didn't really know what to do. The only reason why it stopped was because she like yelped, and I guess that tipped him off that she might have been awake, and so he stopped at that point.
And what about that was with respect to the first. What about the most memorable?
She talked about the most memorable incident where again, it happened in his bedroom, and she was very descriptive as far as how she was sleeping in order to prevent the molestation. She talked about how she would wrap herself in the blanket to make it more difficult for the defendants to do anything to her. But she said that he did end up unwrapping her from the blanket and penetrating her anus this time as well. And also, he made her masturbate him this time.
When you say masturbating him, what exactly was she able to communicate?
Her hand on his penis.
And with respect to the last time, what was she able to articulate?
The most recent incident, she talked about when she was around 10 years old, again in the defendant's bedroom. She said that she woke up to him caressing her breasts. After he was caressing her breasts, she described him touching the lips of her vagina with his fingers, although she clarified that there was no penetration, it was just on the lips of her vagina. After he did that, he then proceeded to insert his penis in her anus.
And did she remember any sensory details to your knowledge or memory?
Yes.
And what were those?
Well, she talked about the feeling of his hand on her hand, forcing her to masturbate him. She talked about the feeling of his the hair on his genital area, what it felt like against her hand. She described what the bedroom looked like at the time. Apparently, it's not the same bedroom that he would currently be in. It's a different bedroom, and she gave a very descriptive explanation of what the bedroom looked at that time, amongst other details.
Anything about it, something being wet?
Yeah, she talked about how his hand was wet and how he would put his hand on her face after he would make her masturbate him, and how she felt disgusted with his wet hand on her face.
With respect to masturbation, in terms of like the verb, was it movement up and down, side to side? What was she able to articulate?
I believe she said it was movement up and down.
Any other sensory details you remember her being able to communicate potentially?
Not off the top of my head.
And
She did. Oh, I'm sorry. She did talk about the fear that she felt in the moment of the assaults. She talked to me about how she knew about his history, his criminal history. He had talked to her about the things that he would have to do while in prison. And so she knew what he was capable of. And so that's one of the reasons why she was so afraid to do anything while the molestation was occurring.
did you receive, I mean, you were observing her body language throughout. Or were you able to pick up on her body language?
She was very tense. Her hands were in her laps the entire time, most of the interview. in between her legs. She was kind of emotional towards the beginning of the interview. Throughout most of the interview, she was pretty collected and she didn't show too much emotion throughout the interview up until the end whenever I stepped out, and she kind of cried again after I stepped out of the bedroom, out of the interview room.
And was anyone else in the room with y'all?
No, it was just her and I.
Standard procedure.
That's right.
No further questions from the state?
Briefly, you've been advised not to mention, that my client was in. Do you have your micro? Oh. There. Were you advised to not mention, the motion in limine was discussed with you?
I'm sorry, was that advised what?
Not to mention, any past criminal history from my client?
I was not advised to do that now.
Do you understand that you're ordered not to raise that issue until the judge gives you permission?
Okay.
Okay. And, just to be clear, Emily was under the age of 18 when she spoke to you?
That's right.
That's what is.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. When you're called to testify, you're not allowed to speak about the defendant's criminal history. That is not to be brought up in any way. Do you understand?
Yes, Judge.
All right, you may step down. The court will hear any argument. Defense, do you agree that this is the outcry witness? And do you agree that his testimony should be heard?
Yes, Judge. I'm sorry, I didn't catch the last part.
No problem. All right, then, Deputy Laura, these two, if you can put them on hold.
For the afternoon or?
Yes. In my understanding, there's an agreement that's been reached in Mr. Cruz's case.
Is that the one before rain?
So we'll try and work on it before.
And then Deputy Laura, whenever you're all ready, you can bring in the jurors.